The plane touched down in Miami with a jolt that mirrored the chaos brewing inside me. I had agreed to this vacation as a favor to my mom, tagging along with her longtime friend Nevaeh, who was supposed to be the epitome of straight-laced normalcy. But as we stepped into the humid Florida air, Nevaeh turned to me with eyes that held a storm, whispering, "Quinn, there's something I've hidden from everyone, including your mother, and it involves you." My heart skipped, not from the heat but from the implication hanging in her words. I was 25, fresh out of a messy breakup with my college girlfriend, and had sworn off romance, especially with someone like Nevaeh, 35, divorced and as far as I knew straight as an arrow. Mom had pushed this trip as a way for me to relax and recharge, but now unpacking in our shared beachfront condo, I couldn't shake the unease. Why me? Why now? Nevaeh busied herself with groceries, her movements efficient, almost robotic, but her glances my way were laced with something unspoken, something that made my skin prickle. That first evening we walked along the shore, the waves crashing like accusations. "Your mom thinks I'm here to babysit you," Nevaeh said, her voice low against the wind. "But truthfully, Quinn, I've been watching you grow up, and lately, it's more than that." I stopped dead, sand shifting under my feet. Watching me. The word echoed in my mind, twisting into something both flattering and terrifying. I thought of my family's conservative roots back in Chicago, where being gay was whispered about like a curse. Mom had accepted my coming out at 18, but barely. Her hugs felt stiffer after that, her questions about boyfriends a deliberate blind spot. Nevaeh continued, her pixie cut ruffled by the breeze, her red blouse clinging slightly from the humidity. "I left my husband because I couldn't pretend anymore. But admitting it to myself was one thing, saying it out loud." She trailed off, her eyes meeting mine with a vulnerability that punched me in the gut. I wanted to run, to call Mom and demand an explanation, but a part of me, a reckless, curious part, stayed rooted. What if this was the connection I'd been craving? The one that didn't end in heartbreak? Dinner that night was tense, the condo filled with the scent of grilled shrimp we picked up from a local spot. I poked at my food, my mind racing. "So you're saying you're like me?" I asked, the words tumbling out clumsier than intended. Nevaeh nodded, her fork pausing midair. "Lesbian? Yes, but it's not that simple. Your mom and I go back to high school." If she knew. The implication hung heavy, betrayal. Mom trusted Nevaeh like a sister, had confided in her about my phase, as she sometimes called it. Now this woman was confessing feelings that could shatter that bond. I pushed back from the table, needing air. Outside on the balcony, the ocean mocked my turmoil with its endless rhythm. How could I navigate this? Ignore it and preserve the peace? Or explore it and risk everything? Nevaeh joined me, her presence a magnet I couldn't resist. "I'm not asking for anything right now," she said softly. "Just time to figure it out." But her hand brushing mine sent sparks, and I pulled away, conflicted. This vacation was supposed to be escape. Instead, it was a minefield. The next day dawned bright, but my mood was stormy. We rented bikes and pedaled along the boardwalk, tourists blurring past. Nevaeh tried small talk about work, her marketing job in New York, my graphic design freelance gigs, but the undercurrent pulled us deeper. "Why tell me now?" I demanded, stopping under a palm tree. She sighed, wiping sweat from her brow. "Because seeing you at your mom's birthday last month, happy and free despite everything, it woke something in me. I can't keep living a lie." Her words hit like a wave, dragging up my own buried resentments. I'd fought for acceptance, lost friends, endured family dinners where aunts clucked about finding the right man. Now Nevaeh wanted in on that fight? It felt unfair, like she could dip in and out while I bore the scars. But as we biked back, her laughter at a street performer's joke softened my edges. Maybe she was genuine. Maybe this was worth the risk. That afternoon, lounging by the pool, the tension simmered. Nevaeh read a book, her legs stretched out, but her eyes flicked to me often. I dove into the water, strokes cutting through my confusion. Surfacing, I found her watching, a small smile playing on her lips. "You're stronger than you know, Quinn," she said later as we dried off. Strong? I felt fragile, torn between loyalty to Mom and this budding attraction. Evening brought a storm, rain lashing the windows. We ordered pizza, huddling on the couch with a movie neither watched. What if we just talk? Nevaeh suggested. And we did, about her marriage, a facade built on societal expectations, about my ex who cheated because it got too real. The parallels stung, forging a connection I hadn't anticipated. But as thunder rolled, doubt crept in. Was this manipulation? Nevaeh was older, more experienced. Could she be using me to test her identity? I excused myself to bed early, lying awake, heart pounding. This truth she revealed wasn't just hers. It was a bomb that could detonate my world. The following morning, I confronted her over coffee. This can't happen. Mom would never forgive us. Nevaeh's face fell, but she nodded. I know, but denying it hurts more. Her honesty disarmed me, planting seeds of what-ifs. As we headed to the beach, the sun mocking our shadows, I wondered if I could walk away unscathed. By midday we were snorkeling. The underwater world a temporary escape. Schools of fish darted like my thoughts, elusive, colorful, dangerous. Surfacing near Nevaeh, our masks off, she said, "Quinn, whatever happens, thank you for listening." Her gratitude twisted the knife. I was hooked despite myself. Lunch at a seaside cafe amplified the drama. A family nearby argued loudly about a daughter's lifestyle choice. Words like disgrace flying. Nevaeh flinched and I reached for her hand under the table, a reflex that shocked us both. Pulling back, I whispered, "See? This is what we'd face." She met my gaze. "I know, but is hiding better?" The question haunted me through the afternoon hike in a nearby park. Trails wound like my emotions, uphill battles and sudden drops. Nevaeh shared stories of her youth, repressed feelings buried under prom dates and weddings. "I envied your courage," she admitted. Envied? I laughed bitterly. Courage got me disinvited from family reunions. As dusk fell, back at the condo we cooked dinner together. Movements synchronized in uneasy harmony. The air crackled with unspoken desires, but I held back, mind whirling with consequences. What price would this cost? That night, insomnia gripped me. Pacing the living room, I called my best friend back home. "It's complicated," I whispered, not daring full disclosure. Her advice: follow your heart, but protect it. Easy to say. Nevaeh found me there, robe wrapped tight. "Can't sleep?" she asked. We sat on the couch, silence heavy. Then she leaned in, not for a kiss but a hug. "I'm scared too," she confessed. In that moment vulnerability bridged us, but dawn brought reality crashing back. The fourth day dawned with a deceptive calm, the sun filtering through curtains like false hope. I avoided Nevaeh's eyes over breakfast, the confession from our first night now a chasm between us. But as we drove to the Everglades for an airboat tour, the humid air thickened with tension, mirroring the swampy mess of my thoughts. On the boat, wind whipping our hair, alligators lurked below like hidden dangers. "Life's full of risks," Nevaeh shouted over the engine. Was she talking about wildlife or us? I gripped the rail, mind flashing to Mom's face if she discovered this. She'd introduced Nevaeh as the stable one, a role model. Betraying that felt like treason. After the tour, we picnicked in a shaded spot, mosquitoes buzzing like my doubts. "Tell me about your ex," Nevaeh probed gently. I hesitated, then spilled. "Sarah, passionate but volatile, who left me for a man to fit in." The pain resurfaced raw. Nevaeh listened, her hand on my arm, a comfort I craved yet feared. "Why pursue this?" I asked, voice cracking. "You could find someone without baggage." She shook her head. "Because it's you, Quinn. You've always seen through the facade." Her words warmed me, but logic screamed warning. Society's glare, family's judgment, could we withstand it? Driving back, traffic jammed like my resolve. A radio talk show debated LGBTQ rights, callers spewing hate. Nevaeh turned it off, jaw set. "That's why I stayed closeted so long." Her admission fueled my anger. At the world, at her for dragging me in. At the condo, I snapped. "This is selfish. You're experimenting on my life." Nevaeh recoiled, eyes welling. "It's not an experiment. It's real." The argument escalated, voices rising like the tide. "Real? You've lived straight for decades," I accused. She fired back. "And paid for it with misery." We stormed to separate rooms, doors slamming. Alone, regret gnawed. Was I pushing her away to protect myself? Or was this self-preservation? Hours passed. I emerged to find her on the balcony, staring at the sea.
I'm sorry, I murmured.
She turned face-streaked. Me too. But we can't ignore this. Dinner was silent, takeout containers mocking our discord. Post-meal we walked the beach, waves erasing footprints like potential regrets. What if we try? Nevaeh whispered. Try? The word tempted, but visions of Mom's disappointment halted me. That night, a call from Mom shattered the fragile peace. How's the trip? Nevaeh taking good care of you. Her cheerfulness stabbed. Yeah, great. I lied throat tight. Hanging up guilt-flooded. Nevaeh overheard her expression pained. We have to tell her eventually. No. I hissed. It would break her. But deep down I knew hiding was breaking me. We talked till dawn dissecting options. Suppress feelings, pursue secretly, or confess and face fallout. Each path brimmed with loss. Morning brought a museum visit. Art pieces reflecting our turmoil. Abstract swirls of emotion. In a quiet gallery, Nevaeh said, "Love shouldn't be this hard." Love? The word hung, unclaimed but potent. I wandered away, heart racing. Lunch at a bistro, we debated ethics. Is it wrong to want happiness? She asked. Not if it hurts others, I countered. Our words danced around the attraction, building pressure like a storm. Afternoon shopping distracted briefly. Nevaeh tried on dresses, her laughter infectious. In the fitting room mirror our eyes locked, a spark igniting. But I turned away, mind on consequences. Back home tension peaked. I can't do halfway, Nevaeh declared. Either we explore this or end it now. Her ultimatum forced a choice. I paced, weighing loyalty against desire. Okay, I whispered. Let's try. The decision lifted a weight, but anxiety lingered. We spent the evening planning discrete dates, boundaries. But as stars emerged, doubt resurfaced. Was this betrayal? Next day we explored Key Biscayne, biking paths lined with mangroves. Nature's beauty contrasted our inner chaos. Nevaeh shared childhood tales of suppression, her voice cracking. I married to please my parents. Parallels to my life stung. I dated men in high school for the same reason. Picnicking, a couple nearby held hands openly. Envy hit. Could that be us? I wondered aloud. Nevaeh squeezed my hand. If we're brave. But bravery faltered when Mom texted photos from home, reminding me of roots. Miss you both, she wrote. Guilt twisted like vines. Evening yoga on the beach aimed to center us, but poses mirrored our contortions, bending to fit expectations. Post-session, Nevaeh confessed. I'm terrified of losing your mom. Me too, I thought, but said nothing. Dinner conversation turned heavy. Society labels us sinners, she said. But love isn't sin. Her conviction inspired yet scared me. What if we failed? Night brought intimacy, not physical but emotional. Sharing dreams, fears. I want a life without lies, Nevaeh said. I nodded, but inside conflict raged. As sleep evaded, I journaled. Is this worth the pain? The answer eluded, but Nevaeh's presence comforted. Midway through the vacation, cracks widened. We ventured to South Beach, neon lights pulsing like my heartbeat. Crowds thronged, a mix of freedom and judgment. Nevaeh and I walked close but not touching, the unspoken rule a shackle. At a cafe, a group nearby whispered about those types. Nevaeh stiffened. I grabbed her hand defiantly. Ignore them, I said. But inside rage boiled, at the world for making us hide. Post-coffee we strolled the Art Deco district. Facades beautiful yet deceptive. Like us, I thought. Nevaeh stopped at a mural of embracing women. This could be our story. Optimism clashed with my pessimism. Lunch brought confrontation. A waiter flirted with me. Nevaeh's jealousy flared subtly. He's not your type, she muttered later. And you are. I teased, but tension undercut the joke. Afternoon at the beach, sunbathers oblivious to our drama. We swam, waves buffering words. Underwater I pondered escape. Surfacing, Nevaeh's smile reeled me back. Drying off, she broached the future. After this trip, what? Reality hit, back to Chicago, Nevaeh to New York. Distance as barrier or blessing. Evening party at a club. Music thumped, bodies swayed. We danced separately at first, but gravity pulled us together. Clothes not touching, the air electric. A drunk patron slurred slurs. Nevaeh pulled me out, fuming. Outside, argument erupted. This is what we'd face. I yelled. Constant hate. She countered. Or constant hiding worse. Back at the condo, silence deafened. Then tears. I didn't choose this, Nevaeh sobbed. Her pain mirrored mine. We hugged, boundaries blurring but held. Next morning, hangover of emotions. We hiked in a nature reserve, paths twisting like decisions. Nevaeh shared family stories, disapproving parents who cut ties post-divorce. They'd disown me fully if they knew. Sympathy swelled but self-doubt nagged. Was I ready for this war? Picnic amid trees, we dissected morals. Lying to your mom is wrong, I said. Nevaeh agreed but fear paralyzed. Afternoon spa visit aimed relaxation, but massages unearthed tensions. In the steam room, whispers, I love you, Quinn. The words stunned, joy and terror mingling. Dinner, candlelit but fraught. Do you feel the same? She asked. I hesitated. It's complicated. Hurt flashed in her eyes. Night walk on the beach, stars witnesses. We could tell your mom together, Nevaeh suggested. Panic surged. She'd see it as betrayal. Debate intensified. Pros, honesty. Cons, rupture. No win. Sleep fragmented, dreams of confrontations. Awakening, resolve formed, but which way? Day 7, zoo visit, animals caged like our feelings. Watching lions pace, Nevaeh said. Freedom costs. Indeed. Lunch casual but deep. My ex-husband suspected, she revealed. That's why we split. Layers peeled, vulnerability exposed. Afternoon museum, artifacts of past lives. Don't let fear dictate, a plaque read. Omen. Evening cooking class, hands brushing over ingredients. Laughter returned, tentative. But post-class, call from mom. Nevaeh seems off in texts. Everything okay? Lie piled on lie. Fine. Guilt crescendoed. Confronting Nevaeh. We stop now. She pleaded. Don't. Tug of war ensued, emotions raw. I can't lose you, she said. But losing mom? Resolution deferred. Night heavy with unsaid. The 8th day escalated the stakes. We chartered a boat to the Keys, water choppy like our emotions. Isolation amplified intimacy. No distractions from the truth. On deck, wind howling, Nevaeh confessed deeper. I've loved women before in secret. But you're different. Revelation stung, why hide that? Trust eroded slightly. Lunch on a tiny island, seclusion tempting fate. We talked boundaries but eyes betrayed desires held in check. Afternoon snorkeling, coral vibrant yet fragile. Like us, I mused. A stingray glided by, beautiful danger. Back on boat, storm brewed. Literal and metaphorical. Rain pelted, we huddled below. This trip changed everything, Nevaeh said. Indeed, but for better? Docking in Miami, soaked and shaken. Evening plans cancelled. We ordered in, thunder echoing arguments. I called my sister, Nevaeh revealed. Told her about me. Shock. How'd she react? Disowned me. Heartbreak in her voice. I comforted, roles reversing. Her sacrifice fueled my guilt. Don't do this for me. But it was done, ripple effects starting. Night insomnia shared. What if mom reacts the same? I voiced. Nevaeh. We face it together. Morning 9. Art festival, colors swirling like confusion. Amid crowds, we held hands briefly. Defiance thrilling yet terrifying. A vendor's comment. Cute couple. Blush but fear followed. What if recognized? Lunch, heated discussion. Coming out isn't optional for me, I said. I've paid the price. Nevaeh. Now I am too. Afternoon gallery hop, paintings evoking pain. One depicted fractured families, too close. Evening concert, music swelling emotions. Dancing close, world fading. But song ended, reality intruded. Post-concert, bar argument. A patron hit on Nevaeh. My jealousy erupted. See? Complications. She laughed bitterly. That's life. But strain showed. Back home, confrontation peaked. Are we worth this? I demanded. Tears. Yes. Resolution. Proceed cautiously. But doubt lingered. Day 10. Spa day, relaxation forced. Massages eased bodies, not minds. Steam room confessions. My parents would cut me off, I said. Nevaeh. Mine did. Sympathy bonded but pressure mounted. Dinner. Romantic setup unintended. Candles flickered. Conversation turned to futures. Move to New York, she suggested. Tempting but uprooting? Night walk decisions weighing. Let's tell Mom after the trip, I proposed. Agreement uneasy. Sleep came fitful dreams of rejection. Final days blurred in intensity. A road trip to Orlando theme parks ironic. Fantasy escapes from real drama. Rides thrilled but talks grounded. Society's evolving. Nevaeh optimistic. Me skeptical. Evening fireworks burst like revelations. Hand in hand hidden in crowd. But call from Mom. Come home soon. Impending doom. Last night packing with purpose. No regrets, Nevaeh said. But I had many. The flight back to Chicago was turbulent, mirroring the storm inside. Nevaeh and I sat side by side, fingers brushing accidentally, or not. We tell her tonight, I whispered. Her nod was resolute, but fear etched her features. Landing, cold air slapped like judgment. Driving to Mom's house, silence screamed. What if this ended friendships, family? Arriving, Mom greeted warmly. Missed you girls. Obliviousness pained. Over dinner, nerves frayed. Something to say. I started. Mom's fork paused. Nevaeh jumped in. Linda, I'm gay. And Quinn and I have feelings. Shock rippled across Mom's face. What? Betrayal flashed. You? With my daughter. Argument exploded. How could you? Mom accused Nevaeh. Trusted friend. Tears flowed. I defended. It's real, Mom. But she railed. Society will destroy you. Think of the family. Hours of debate, voices hoarse. Mom's pain. I accepted you, Quinn, but this? Behind my back. Nevaeh apologized. Didn't plan it. But damage done. Mom stormed out, we followed, pleading. Give us time, I begged. Night ended in stalemate. Nevaeh left for a hotel. I stayed, consoling Mom. Why her? She sobbed. She's like family. Sleepless, I pondered choices. Had we chosen wrong? Days blurred in fallout. Mom barely spoke. Nevaeh called daily, relationship strained by distance. Family gatherings canceled, whispers spread. Aunts called, condemning. Nevaeh's job suffered. Colleagues judgmental. Worth it? She asked in a call. My freelance dried up. Clients wary. But amid pain, growth. Support groups connected us. Friends rallied. Months later, tentative reconciliation. Mom met us for coffee. I don't understand, but I love you both. Healing slow, scars deep. We moved in together in New York, building anew. Yet questions lingered. The betrayals, the costs. Was coming out at the expense of trust the right path? Or should secrets sometimes stay buried to preserve peace?